It's ridiculous. I can barely hit a double into the gap.
Right. And that's standing in the right batter's box.
Yeah.
Facing, watching the ball.
Gosh, that is beyond impressive. Like, would you put that up there just in terms of something that's a gimmick? What's higher, the guy that can do the impression of all the MLB batting stances or the hitter?
I think the hitter's more impressive.
I'm not. Obviously, it takes way more talent to hit that home run. I'm saying, like, just as a funny little gimmick video, what would you rank higher?
I just am super impressed by that. I think that's just better. But I understand the guy that does the batting stances. I've seen that. He's made quite a career out of that.
Yeah, he's been doing it for like 10 years. I was like a senior in high school when he first came out, and he's still doing it.
Yeah. And whatever, that's what he likes to do, you know?
Yeah. I remember freshman year of college, we would play a wiffle ball in the hallway of our dorm. Mm-hmm. And because of that guy, I would try to mimic batting stances also.
Right.
Like, sitting there doing poo holes with the little arms up.
I like the Euclid with the hands spread apart off the bat.
Where he's pretty much holding the barrel.
Yeah. And then it comes down, it slides down at the end.
Yeah, it's all about timing, I think.
I wonder what happened to Euclid. He's just got old.
Yeah, he just got old. He played for the White Sox, where players go to die recently.
Oh, no. Are we getting into the White Sox already? All right. I'll tell you what. Let me just say support for the Marengo Radio comes from, thank goodness it's not the White Sox, but it is from Done Right Auto, trusted auto repair in downtown Marengo. If you want it done right and affordable, you can contact Done Right Auto at 815-568-4412. They are located at 109 North State Street.
I feel like it's an insult to anybody that you would have just read right there because of what we're about to talk about.
Sorry about that, Joe. But we can talk a little White Sox baseball.
It's only fair to bring up the other side of the city.
I feel like we sort of have to, almost. Obligations.
Yeah.
FCC won't let me be me and WXMR. All right. Well, they are currently sitting in fourth place in the AL Central. They are 14.5 games back. Oh, they're tied. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see.
They're tied with the Tigers.
Tied with the Tigers, except for they have one win better in the loss column, which is what you probably would theoretically rather have. Not that it matters when you're battling for third place. Unless it's in the Cubs division, where the third place is the fourth best record in baseball. Right. So, as we said earlier, Minnesota is just the baseball capital of the world right now. The Kansas City Royals are in that division.
Missouri, not Minnesota.
Oh, did I say? I'm sorry. Yeah, I was looking at the standings, and I saw Minnesota there. Okay. Minnesota's in second place, but they're 12 games back. So Kansas City has a 12-game lead, which is quite a bit.
Yeah, and when you look at the wild card standings, the Twins are in fifth. They're 3 games back of the second spot. Toronto is just running away. Like, forget the wild card. Toronto might win the East.
They're going to be so good in the show. If you play. Yeah.
When you turn on that PS3 or PS4, they are just incredible.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. There's going to be. They just recently made that trade for Tulowitzki
and David Price.
Yeah. David Price, yeah, exactly. So they have.
In David Price's 2 outings, I just saw this on the MLB Network yesterday. Mm-hmm. In his 2 outings, he's gone 15 innings, allowed 1 run.
So that's good.
Yeah.
Right?
To say the least.
Now, what was their... Remember we were looking at the statistics last night. What was their record since they acquired Troy Tulowitzki? Was it like 11-1 or something like that?
Yeah, I believe they've only lost a game since the trade deadline.
So you look at it. You look at that lineup over there in Toronto. This is how we talk Sox baseball, right? By not talking about Sox baseball.
But by talking about the rest of the AL.
So they have Troy Tulowitzki. They have Josh Donaldson. They have Jose Bautista. They have Edwin Encarnacion. All those guys are capable of going yard at any time.
Yeah.
Russell Martin's a catcher over there. Is that correct? Yeah, Russell Martin. Yeah. So that's a really good...
And that guy can swing it too.
Why not?
As well as call a game.
Exactly. Why not? That's a lethal lineup. And you pair that up with David Price.
Terrifying lineup.
That's a team that I'm going to be playing with in the show, with David Price.
Yeah. And then especially because David Price doesn't have to bat because the AL plays Little League Baseball.
Really?
Not a fan of the DH.
You're not?
No, it's stupid.
So
if you're gonna swing the bat, play the field. If you're gonna play the field, swing the bat.
So you think everyone should hit no matter what?
I agree. Yeah. With the exception of a pinch hitter.
Okay, I got you. I hear you. Looks like in that lineup over there, yeah, Josh Donaldson leads the team with 31 homers, 83 RBIs, 82 runs. One of the most feared hitters in the American League. And they have Mark Burley over there still, too. So their pitching kind of lacks a bit. They have Mark Burley. They have, as you said earlier, David Price. They have Drew Hutchinson pitched a good game yesterday.
Yeah.
But that might be their downfall.
Their pitching?
Their starting pitching.
Yeah. Well, not that, and you and I have talked about this, not necessarily on the air, but wins and losses aren't a very good gauge for a pitcher, but Burley is leading the team with 12 wins.
Yeah, he's at 12
More
wins.
than Arrieta.
Yeah, very true. And yeah, like we talked about that yesterday, that it's kind of a tough stat to really gauge anything on, because a guy could throw, 7 innings of shutout ball and give up 1 run in the 8th and take the loss.
Yeah.
Or he can.
You could literally have a 0 ERA in 32 starts and end up 0-32.
I mean, yeah, hypothetically, theoretically, metaphorically.
Metaphorically. You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
But it's a ickly word. I like those ickly words.
Yeah.
Sickly. To a sickly amount. All right, anyway, back to the
White Sox.
Back to to the White Sox.
Okay, the White Sox are only 5 games below 500. Okay. They're 53 and 58. However, you know what the Pythagorean theorem win-loss record is, right?
The Pythagorean theorem is that A squared plus B squared equals C squared?
Essentially, because it takes your runs and runs allowed and tries to figure out what your record should be.
Okay. So say that, did you look this up?
It's just right there on Baseball Reference.
Okay, so you're going to take the amount of runs versus runs allowed.
It's runs. It's offensive play based on pitching and defense, and then it tries to figure out what your record ultimately, quote, should be.
Should be, right, with those gauging with those statistics.
Yeah. So they're 53 and 58. What do you think their Pythagorean record is?
58 and 53.
Pythagorean, they're 48 and 63.
Oh, really? So they're playing way above their heads.
Yeah. Like they're winning games that they should. But also like the other night they won, what was it, 7-0? They won last night 3-0. Sale on the bump for the 7-0 and
yeah, I remember. Yeah, he's quite a pitcher.
Yeah. The lone bright spot. And and let's just say it out loud. What was Rick Hahn thinking not selling at the deadline?
Well, that's what I was kind of about to bring up. Is they?
Oh man, like that 7. They went 7-0 for a stretch at the end of July.
Yep.
But then they still lost 3 in a row before the deadline and still didn't sell. You got Samardzija, who's going to be a free agent. You know he's going to test free agency.
Absolutely, someone's going to give him money that he probably doesn't really actually even deserve.
No.